Picture this. You step off the plane in Kuala Lumpur, and within 48 hours, everything you thought you knew about living abroad gets completely shattered. Americans are landing in Malaysia expecting a typical Southeast Asian experience, but what they're discovering is so unexpected, so dramatically different from life back home, that thousands are making a decision that's leaving their friends and family back in the States absolutely stunned. What's happening in Malaysia right now isn't just a travel trend, it's a full-blown awakening that's causing Americans to question everything they've been told about the American dream. Before we unveil these jaw-dropping discoveries that are turning American expats' worlds upside down, do me a favor, if you're curious about what's really happening beyond America's borders, hit that subscribe button and smash the like icon. Turn on those notifications because what we're uncovering today might just change the way you see your entire future. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. The healthcare revelation. The first shock hits Americans the moment they experience Malaysia's healthcare system, and it's not what you'd expect. Walk into any private hospital in Kuala Lumpur, Penang, or Johor Bahru, and you'll find facilities that rival, and often surpass, top American hospitals with one staggering difference. An MRI that costs $3,000 in the United States runs about $150 in Malaysia. A comprehensive health checkup that would set you back $1,500 in America? Try $80. We're talking about the same cutting-edge technology, internationally trained doctors, many educated in the US, UK, and Australia, and English-speaking staff throughout. Americans are discovering that medical tourism isn't just about cheap procedures, it's about world-class healthcare at prices that make sense, and this revelation alone is causing many to reconsider where they want to spend their retirement years or raise their families. But here's where it gets even more mysterious. Malaysia has been quietly positioning itself as a medical hub for decades, investing billions into healthcare infrastructure while keeping costs remarkably low. The country attracts over 1 million medical tourists annually, and Americans are increasingly among them. What's truly shocking is that many Americans are finding they can fly to Malaysia, pay for a major surgery, recover in a luxury hotel, and fly back home for less than their insurance deductible back in the States. The Malaysian government's MM2H, Malaysia My Second Home, program has seen a surge in American applicants, and healthcare accessibility is consistently cited as a top 3 reason. This isn't some developing world gamble. This is a sophisticated healthcare ecosystem that's making Americans question why they're paying 10 times more for the same level of care. The second wave of shock comes when Americans start doing their monthly budgets in Malaysia, and the numbers seem almost fictional. A spacious 3-bedroom condominium in the heart of Kuala Lumpur with a pool, gym, and 24-hour security runs between $800 to $1,500 per month. That same setup would cost $3,500 to $6,000 in a comparable American city. But it's not just housing. A full meal at a local restaurant costs $2 to $4. A nice dinner at a mid-range international restaurant rarely exceeds $15 per person, and your monthly grocery bill might drop by 60 to 70% compared to shopping in American supermarkets. Americans are discovering they can maintain or even upgrade their lifestyle on a fraction of their US income, and this financial breathing room is creating possibilities many thought were permanently out of reach. Yet there's something even more intriguing beneath these surface-level savings. The quality of life equation in Malaysia operates on an entirely different algorithm than what Americans are accustomed to. High-speed internet is both widely available and affordable, domestic help is accessible to middle-class families, and the transportation infrastructure, from the efficient Kuala Lumpur metro system to affordable ride-sharing, makes car ownership optional rather than mandatory. Americans who were living paycheck to paycheck in the States are suddenly building savings, traveling throughout Southeast Asia on weekends, and experiencing a level of financial security they'd abandoned as impossible. The Malaysian ringgit's favorable exchange rate against the dollar has created what some expats describe as a lifestyle arbitrage that's too compelling to ignore, and the American expat community in Malaysia has grown substantially over the past 5 years as word spreads about this economic revelation. The third shock is perhaps the most profound. Americans discover that Malaysia's multicultural fabric isn't just a talking point, it's a living, breathing daily reality that functions more harmoniously than many expected. Malaysia is home to Malays, Chinese, Indians, and indigenous groups, each maintaining distinct cultural identities while coexisting in remarkable balance. You'll find mosques next to temples next to churches, all within the same neighborhood, and public holidays celebrate Hari Raya, Chinese New Year, Deepavali, and Christmas with equal enthusiasm. Americans raised in increasingly polarized communities back home are witnessing a different model of diversity, one where multiple languages, religions, and traditions don't just coexist but actively enrich the social tapestry. This exposure is causing many Americans to reconsider assumptions about multiculturalism, national identity, and what's possible when different communities genuinely work to understand one another. What makes this even more mysterious is how this multicultural harmony translates into everyday American expat life. English is widely spoken, especially in urban areas, making the transition far smoother than anticipated. The food scene alone, a fusion of Malay, Chinese, Indian, and international cuisines, offers Americans a culinary journey they never expected, where a $3 plate of nasi lemak or char kway teow rivals anything they'd pay $15 for back home. But it goes deeper than food and language. Americans are discovering a culture of hospitality and genuine friendliness that's become increasingly rare in many Western societies. The concept of Malaysian hospitality isn't tourism marketing. It's a tangible experience that's leaving Americans feeling more welcomed than they ever anticipated. For many, this cultural discovery becomes the reason they stay long after their initial visit, finding in Malaysia a sense of community and belonging they'd been searching for without even realizing it. The final shock, and perhaps the most controversial, is what Americans discover about freedom itself in Malaysia. On paper, the United States champions individual liberty above all else. Yet Americans in Malaysia are finding freedoms they didn't know they'd lost. The freedom to walk streets at night without constant anxiety, thanks to Malaysia's significantly lower violent crime rates compared to many American cities. The freedom from the crushing weight of student loan debt, medical bankruptcy, or losing everything due to an unexpected health crisis. The freedom to actually take vacation time without guilt or fear of losing your job, in a culture where work-life balance isn't just a buzzword but an expectation. These Americans are experiencing a different definition of freedom, not just the freedom to do something, but the freedom from the systems that had been quietly constraining their lives. But here's where it gets truly thought-provoking. Many Americans are discovering that certain limitations in Malaysia, whether related to political discourse or media, are trade-offs they're willing to accept for the tangible daily freedoms they've gained. This isn't to suggest Malaysia is perfect. Every country has its challenges and complexities. Yet Americans are confronting an uncomfortable question. What good is theoretical freedom if you can't afford to exercise it? The ability to start a business with minimal bureaucracy, to receive quality education for your children at a fraction of U.S. private school costs, to retire comfortably on a modest pension. These practical freedoms are resonating deeply with Americans who felt these possibilities slipping away back home. The MM2H program has facilitated long-term stays for thousands of Americans, and online expat forums are filled with stories of people who came for a visit and are now 5 years deep into their Malaysian experience with no plans to return permanently. This freedom paradox is sparking conversations about what truly matters in building a good life, and the answers are surprising even those asking the questions. So there you have it, 10 profound reasons Americans are having their entire worldview shaken after visiting Malaysia. From healthcare that's both world-class and affordable, to a cost of living that makes financial freedom attainable again, to a multicultural society that actually functions, to a redefinition of what freedom means in practical daily life, Malaysia is challenging everything Americans thought they knew about living well. These aren't just vacation observations. These are life-changing discoveries causing thousands to reassess their futures, their priorities, and their place in the world. If these revelations sparked something in you, don't keep this to yourself. Drop a comment below telling us what shocked you most, or if you've experienced Malaysia yourself, share your story. Subscribe to our channel because we're diving deep into locations around the world that are changing lives in unexpected ways, and hit that like button to help others discover these truths. There's a whole world out there operating by different rules, and we're just getting started uncovering it. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep discovering what's possible.